Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video guys, and we are flying out the Mirage, or the Super Mirage 4000. Guys, this aircraft is amazing. I actually don't have a lot of time to get a lot of battles. I really wanted to make like a long video like I did yesterday, so I probably will end up doing like next week another video on the Mirage or something, because this thing is amazing. I actually honestly am liking this thing more than the F-15 and the Gripen. The Su-27, I mean, it's kind of the, it's the Su-27. I love that thing. But the Mirage 4000, man, it's such a cool aircraft. It's so good. It fixes basically every single problem that the normal Mirages have, which is basically technically poor energy retention due to being a delta wing, by adding a second engine onto it. That's how I feel about it. Even though the energy retention on the 2000 is not that bad, honestly. On the 4000 it's really, really good. Like, you can turn like almost no other Mirage and still be able to get speed very quickly. So I don't know, man, this feels like an F-15 killer at least. The Su-27, I don't know, maybe it depends on the situation. But even an Su-27, if you know what you're doing, you can win in a dogfight. It has some problems, okay? The main one is, I think, the way that the missiles are, you know, in the way that they're like used. So you are kind of, the Super 530 is a good missile, but sometimes it's kind of weird. It feels like the Sparrow sometimes. It just like kind of likes to miss out of nowhere for no reason. So it might be just a bug or something. But look at this, guys. Look at this MiG-29 kind of dogfight. Of course, he went in too fast and he decided to lose speed too late, basically. But I'm able to maintain a very, very good line. I tried to fire my magic over here, but yeah, it wasn't good enough. But I just can maintain a very, very good position behind him, and the aircraft just loses energy whenever you want with the delta wing, and then gains energy again whenever you want again. So it really, really is very good on the performance side of things. But as I was saying, you have to be careful with some little things. Like the Super 530 right now, it feels weird, a little bit bugged sometimes. It's just weird. I don't know how, but they didn't change apparently anything. But it feels like the missile is missing in the final part of the flight path sometimes. I don't know if it's just an impression, but it does feel like that, right? And then you have the magics, which are amazing. I really love them. But there is a thing. You need to, for you to take the 6 magics or 8 magics, you need to take a pylon with an external fuel tank of 500 liters, I think, together with 2 magics, right? So you are basically carrying this weight and this drag the whole time when you have to use these magics until you actually deploy the missiles, right? So it's kind of a drawback. You have to, for you to actually use the magics, you need to take this fuel, this extra fuel, or at least the extra larger pylon there, that it will take a little bit of performance in theory at least, right? So besides these 2 things, the aircraft is pretty perfect. It does everything well, it climbs well, it turns well. It really, really is a fun aircraft. If you are considering researching it, go ahead, man, because yes, this is definitely a 12.3 aircraft, and it can beat anything, you know. It kind of has the little problems here and there, as I was saying, but overall it's a very solid aircraft. And I gotta be honest, even compared to the Mirage, the 2000, which is a very good aircraft, I think it solves basically every single problem that I had with the Mirage 2000, right? The lack of the amount of missiles, it fixes that. You have at least 4 magics more, or you can take 2 extra Super 530s if you want to do like an interceptor kind of lineup. And also, as I was saying with the energy retention, not that it has more energy retention, it feels the same. I need to word this correctly, right? It's like it regains the energy that you lose from a turn faster, I think. It might be just an impression. I have to properly test it out to have a scientific way of measure this. But in a general sense, it feels that you have a little bit more control over your speed. Don't get me wrong, the Mirage 2000 is a fast aircraft. But I just think that the 2 engines really work really well in this aircraft. And yeah, the name already kind of explains what it is, right? It's a Super Mirage. So it's what you would expect from a Super Mirage, right? It's a Mirage 2000 but more. And remember, the radar, even though it isn't like the exact same radar as the Mirage 2000, it is basically before the evolution that became the RDI. They had this radar, right? So it isn't the worst thing ever. It really is an okay radar. I think it lacks a little bit of some modes, like a medium PIF mode for you to use properly in dogfights or other modes, but it can be used correctly in interceptions as well. And when you are up close, I mean, just use the normal modes, and then a magic or the within visual range kind of situations where you just lock in with the square, and that's what it is. It's an aircraft that can do various amounts of things correctly. And by the way, I didn't even mention that it can actually do a very good multi-role kind of situation where it can actually take these very advanced missiles like the Super 530 and the Magic 2, and also guided bombs. It can actually take guided bombs together with the pylon, the loadout that we are using. You can actually take 6 or 8 Magic 2s or 6 Magic 2s together with 2 Super 530s and still take a pod, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, together with GBUs or guided bombs, laser guided bombs, right? So it's a very, very, very complete aircraft. I cannot wait to actually fly this thing on ground RB. Because I personally think it's one of the most complete aircraft that we have in the game right now. I mean, yes, there are aircraft that can dogfight maybe better than it. There are aircraft that maybe can out-accelerate it or something like that. Maybe there are aircraft that have other types of missiles. But in a general sense, it's the aircraft that can do it all, right? It can do very good air-to-ground, very good dogfights. BVR, well, I mean, it's not an R-27, but it's still an okay missile to use as a BVR weapon. I would rather use it in a, lower range kind of situation. It's just a little bit more reliable, as you're going to see in this, for example, kill that I missed over here. If it was an R-27 or even the Sparrow, it would probably have hit the target, and it is a Super 530. Might be that bug that I was talking about, but it's just kind of weird sometimes. But at short ranges, the Super 530 can be a very deadly missile anyway, right? So it's the jack of all trades of the top tier, and I'm glad that it came for France. Of course it would come for France, but you know what I mean, right? France deserves something like this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Mirage 4.